right, now for all you Air Force individuals like myself, Dan actually does have a place here where there's Air Force memorabilia. You remember back in World War II was our Army Air Corps. And then at the end of World War II, 1947, they made it a separate branch of the military, the Air Force, which led to Korea and Vietnam into what we know today, but there was the old Army Air Corps. But even the guys from the Army Air Corps, when you say what branch of service you were in, they'll say Air Force. They'll say they were coined that name long before. And here's some great memorabilia back here, Dan, and tell us a little bit what's in this one.
Well, first off, we recognize that these guys from the Air Force had to have big airplanes because they lost everything. And I just wanted to show you the typical Air Force knife. It was made this size so that they, may not lose it as easy.
Well, when we had to cup our steaks and lobster, we needed something big. We didn't make K-Rest and stuff, so
Okay. Anyway, in this display, a lot of memorabilia from both World War II. There's even a couple of things from World War I in here and from the current Air Force. We have memorabilia from the Tuskegee Airmen here, from several Muskegon Reserve units, air units. We have photographic equipment, airplane cockpit lights, a lot of documentation of the Air Corps from that war. We even have a part in here from a V-25 Mitchell, and the gentleman who brought it in was from Arizona, and we can't confirm anything. I'm not trying to say we confirmed it, but he claims this came off of one of the B-25s off of the Doolittle raid over Tokyo or over Japan, but we can't confirm it, but we like to think that that's a true story. Oh, the airplanes? Well, we have a huge display of large-scale models of aircraft from World War II mainly, and these came from a gentleman in Fremont who vacated his office, and he had a hangar, a couple airplanes, and he got rid of all that, and rather than let his grandkids have all these fine aircraft to break up, he let us have them, and we have them on display. There's over 4 dozen large-scale models here representing the aircraft from every nation that fought in World War II. It's a fantastic, very popular display.
Dan, what would have taken place under here when the ship was a ship, when they were hauling troops? I mean, oops, not that one, break that one down. Because the ceilings are pretty low in here, so.
These are all storage areas. All these compartments that we're going into, where the home front was, this area, they were strictly for storage. There could have been ammunition storage. There could have been combat equipment storage. The troops that came on board, they were the ones that were going into harm's way. They had to have a place to store their equipment while they're in transit, so they might have been used for that.
Well, the sleeping quarters are another place.
Oh yeah. There is a deck called the berthing deck, and that's where they would have slept. There is a cruise quarter in the stern of the ship, and a cruise quarter along the port side, and that's where they would have stayed.
All right, I think we're just about a little more than halfway down the main deck here, tank deck here, and right behind us now is a photo wall of honor. And if you'll look and you'll show some painting of this, my goodness, there's a lot of pictures of some of these guys I recognize. So, Dan, what do you have to do to get your mug shot up there and in your bio? How's that work?
Well, this is an area that we will get a photograph of a veteran, any branch of the service, any era. It's not all World War II, and it's not all Muskegon. And we'll put the photograph, a short bio about the serviceman's or servicewoman's service, where they were, what they did, what their decorations might have been. And we have somebody take all that information, mat it and frame it, and bring it in here and hang it. We do charge for this. It's just a $30 charge because that's what we get charged for each one of these to get it prepared and put up. But it's very popular. We added 5 more this week. In conjunction with this, I might mention that we have a engraved brick walk at the entrance down at the stern of the ship. And we'll get the same kind of information, obviously without the photo, and we'll engrave that into a brick, and it becomes a part of our permanent walk of honor.
So veterans, if you didn't know what to get your dad or your grandpa or your mom or somebody who served in a service something for a special occasion, here's a great idea. What a great Father's Day gift or a Mother's Day gift or anniversary gift is have your loved ones put on permanent display here in a place where it means something. In military history down here where your service is really important, it really meant something. And it's kind of like in the Vets Park, that trail we put through that are markers. You know, people like to do that because the vet sometimes won't do it for themselves in modesty or whatever else, but they're awful doggone proud if they would walk down through here and see their picture up there, and you're in pretty good company along that wall. So there you go, family members out there. If you want a little idea of a Christmas gift or a birthday gift or something special, come on down and see Dan and hook you up with a brick or a picture on the wall here, and then bring them down to show in the museum. Let them walk down and see if they find their own picture up there. That'd be pretty cool. So, right?
All right. We also want to mention that we get a lot of uniforms here at the ship, and we have two sections on the ship where we display these uniforms. One of them is called the Hall of Uniforms, and that is 3 compartments long, which means it's almost 100 feet long of solid uniforms behind plexiglass to protect them. And along with them are the hats, the helmets, the boots, the gloves, the things that a serviceman or woman would have worn during their service. It's a beautiful display. It's a Hall of Uniforms. But we receive so many Class A uniforms this way that we have a special place here, and that's what's behind these shadow boxes above the Wall of Honor photographs. These are mostly Class A uniforms donated by the families or by the servicemen themselves. We're very proud of those, and they make quite a display, obviously.
And then we're going to go over here now, and we're going to look at the Muskegon connection. I see there's a whole section down here of stuff that's just unique to our own city. So let's turn around. We'll follow down here in a little ways. Welcome back to this segment of Veterans Did You Know? And we're in the bowels of the LST 393 that's docked right down here in Muskegon, Michigan. I'm sure most of the people who live in Muskegon have passed this ship many, many, many times. But shame on you if you've never stopped and come down in here and take a look. This is absolutely a stunning museum, and the memorabilia in here is just amazing. I don't care what branch of the service you served in or what connection you have to it. Just to walk down through here and see the history that they put together here in the ship and how amazing it is, Dan. And with me is Dan Weichel, and Dan is the president of the LST Restoration Committee and has worked just many, many, many hours in here. And so on this segment of the show, Veterans Did You Know, is did you know about the LST, number one? And did you know that if you have some memorabilia, this is a place to bring it if you find it in your house, or you're clearing out somebody's home that's happened to be passed away, or you come across something, or you have it yourself as a vet and you just don't know what to do with it. Bring it down here and put it in a place. There's a wall of honor here that you can buy a marker out at front for the walkway, or you can buy a picture have it framed of your veteran. And it'll be a permanent part of this display down here. And now we're in front of the Muskegon connection. And Dan, tell me a little bit this is a lot of good stuff right here from Muskegon.
Yeah, we're standing in front of what we call the Muskegon Connection Collection. While we have memorabilia all throughout the ship from all branches of the service, from anywhere and any era of time, but those that come in that we know have a Muskegon connection, we put them in this display. So everything in here, and there's a lot of it, is somehow related to a Muskegon serviceman or an industry in Muskegon. We have Teledyne Continental Motors down on the end with some of their aircraft memorabilia. We have a complete collection of pewter warriors. It's called Warriors Through the Ages, all the way back to 500 BC, right up through the current conflict in the Mideast. And they're all pewter, and they were donated to us by one of our board members, Fred Nielsen, who just passed away. In fact, his funeral was yesterday. But as you come across, you'll see stuff from many, many people you recognize. There's Bud Yeager from the Chronicle. There's Jim Stibbets. In the center is Ike Kepford, the memorabilia from his time in the service. You even see a gavel. Ike, when he was in high school, he was a big red, was mayor of the day in Muskegon, and they presented him with a gavel. Well, his wife who was still living, presented that to us. So we even have things like that. But Stuart Frederick Peterson was another Corsair pilot. He was from Muskegon, all the way down our stuff that from various veterans right here in Muskegon or connected to Muskegon. Very proud of this, and it grows daily. We get stuff daily, and we'd love to just wrap this whole deck with more space to put in more things from Muskegon veterans.